All right, so I'm going to chat today about a text I got yesterday from Wilbur Smith. So I get a text from Wilbur, and it asks me this, curious on your take if and when you get these types of messages. He says, in all honesty, it still throws me off. So here was the message he got, if I can zoom in on this. The message said, from Arthur, after reviewing the video, I respectfully decline joining a multi-level marketing scheme. Thank you. Now, I want to know, Zach, I am a Swiftie. I've got two daughters, three kids, two daughters, but my wife has been a Swiftie since before she went pop. So it's mandatory in our house. All right, put a one in the comments for me if you struggle at times with the MLM network marketing comparison. Yeah, all right. I didn't know so many people dealt with this. I come from the MLM space. So for me, the differences are so big and wide, like I never thought to entertain the question. But being here, I'm learning that for some of you, this is a question you have trouble dealing with. So I wanted to dive into answering this from a guy that has built a career in the network marketing space. All right. So when we were working, my wife and I working as RNs, and we were desperate financially, emotionally, working night shifts at the hospitals, trading shifts back and forth. One of us always home with the kids, one of us always at the hospital, never seeing each other. We were desperate for more. Friends of ours jumped into one of these MLM network marketing pyramid schemes, social selling. They change their name all the time. But friends of mine jumped into one of these things, and I was skeptical, but I knew them personally and they were making really good money. So we jumped in with them. We ended up killing it. I mean, we built a team of like 2,000 people across the country, three other countries. That company bought us a Lexus, took us on trips, all well and good until, as was what happens in the industry, sales plateaued. Nobody was growing, and half our team left for another company, and we lost more than half our income in a 9-month period. And so we're watching our income go down, down, down. We didn't know how low it was going to go. We had quit our nursing jobs. All our eggs were in this basket. So we were legitimately scared. It was right at this time I came across Symmetry, and I joined it because it was the smartest thing I'd ever seen in sales. But it was hard, and I was still making pretty good money from the MLM. So my back was not yet against the wall. And I don't know if you know me well enough yet to know that I don't work well when my back is not against the wall. One of the reasons when I'm really transparent about how I did what I did is very simply because I had to. My hat goes off and respect goes off for those of you that come here and you don't really have to make this work. You want to, and you find the grit and the discipline to show up day after day, even though it doesn't necessarily have to happen today. Those people impress me. So I was here, but my back wasn't against the wall, and I was not humble, and I was not coachable. And it was right at that time, Christina Watts jumps into another MLM, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go do that one with her. So I quit and I went to another MLM. We built another really big team. That one collapsed under us in 2 years. So now I was completely broke. I was professionally broke in. We had a lifestyle that our nursing salaries couldn't afford. And I didn't want to go into another MLM because where do you ever get off that train? I'd already been through two. I was going to jump into another one that was going to roll its 3 to 5 year life cycle. And then what? I was going to have to do another one, roll its 3 to 5 year life cycle. And when do you ever get? I did not want to be the guy in his late 50s, early 60s going, Do you want to join my new thing that's going to be the best thing, even though I swore the last 7 things were the best thing? I didn't want to be that guy. So that's when I started being like, all right, where can I take my sales background, my team building, culture building skill set? Where can I take these actual skills that I learned and build them on a solid foundation? That's when I remembered Symmetry, and I had watched Jamie and Sarah, and I'm like, okay, I got to come back here. To me, the gulf between the two was so big and wide that it never crossed my mind that people would confuse them. I understand where they do. They confuse them because both industries are going to leverage a multi-level commission structure. Understand that. We leverage a multi-level commission structure. MLMs leverage a multi-level commission structure. That is the beginning and the end of their similarities. That is it. They leverage a similar commission structure. That commission structure is not what gives the MLM a bad name. That commission structure is the reason people are attracted to the MLM space in the first place. The commission structure, a multi-level commission structure, is brilliant because what it creates is the mutual benefit within a culture of people who don't earn money until their downline succeeds. This is what takes us away from the dog-eat-dog competitive world of corporate America and puts us in a place where I genuinely want to help you because that's good for me too, and it leverages mutual benefit. So when people see a multi-level commission structure, they get in their head, oh, this must be one of those. No. It is not one of those. It leverages the brilliance of that, but yet protects against the downside of it. So, why do people have this sort of, I don't know, thing against network marketing or MLM or whatever you want to call it? Why do people have this? And when you dig into those reasons, you're going to find what separates us. The biggest reason that there are issues in that industry, period, is for nearly every single company, not 70% or more of their revenue is driven by recruiting. Hear me on that. People make money to recruit. If you've ever been prospected for one of these and you've ever entertained it, you pay money to join. You're going to buy some intro kit at some level of money. You're going to put a big chunk of money into this thing just when you sign up. The revenue of the company is driven by those large purchases, and you're simultaneously going to be put on a monthly, you've got to keep paying in every month to the company. So its revenue is driven by its reps, by the field. There is very rarely an actual consumer demand for the product line that can keep the company afloat. That doesn't exist. The company's finances are afloat because of the people hoping to make money on the company. That's why they're unstable. The minute recruiting dries up, the company itself flounders because the revenue that keeps the company afloat is driven by recruiting. Guys, already, this is completely different. We don't make a dime to recruit. I don't make any money when somebody comes into this. I only make money, you only make money, all of us only make money on policies sold. That's it. To that point, there's not one person in the MLM space that is earning a living on their personal sales. That doesn't exist. The price point for everything is too low that if you're making a living in MLM like we were, you have a large team and you're making little bits on lots of people. That's the only way you make a living. There's nobody selling those candles, the skincare, the whatever the thing they're doing. There's nobody selling enough of that they're earning a living. They can make dozens of dollars, but they're not earning a living on their own sales. You're going to earn a living on recruiting. Here, Turn around, you got a million examples of people earning a living on their own sales. It was one of the biggest things that attracted me here. After depending on my team sales for so long and watching my team leave and leave me there scared, I needed psychologically to go somewhere where I could earn a living on my own effort that didn't rely on anyone else. I came here for that reason. To me, that was a night and day. That was enough for me alone to be like, this is not that. Whatever that was unstable and fell apart underneath me, this isn't that, because I can pick up my pen and go to work and provide for my family. So it's one of the biggest things is we can earn a living on our own pen here. The second thing is that we have leads. There are no leads in the MLM space. It doesn't exist. There is nobody sitting at home at their computer clicking the ad to be like, yeah, I want to join one of those MLM pyramid scheme things. If you could just, I don't know, set me up with the right one. There's no one at home thinking, I want to join one of those. That doesn't exist. And so there are no leads. And so if you get into one, you have no choice but to hard leverage your warm network and sphere of influence. That is your only way to gain ground. Also, one of the reasons people don't like it, because you're going to have to. You have no other lead source, no other place of business other than talking to friends and family. Here you got leads. You can talk to friends and family if you want to, but you don't have to. That attracted me. I had been working friends and family for years. It was really nice to come here and not need them. Now, what I'll add to that, though, is because I had worked friends and family for years, I was really good at it. So I saw the benefit in that too. And I leveraged friends and family to fund my learning curve up front. I mean, for the first 6 months, 98% of all of my sales were warm market, and I might stumble on selling to a lead here or there. But I was good at it, but I didn't need it. That's a big difference. We have leads here. Third big difference is that here we operate as a brokerage. We are not selling a product. Symmetry is not an insurance company. We are brokers. So we represent billion-dollar companies in their own right, and we get to work for our clients. In the MLM space, you are only selling one company's stuff, whether or not that stuff is the best in the industry or the best fit for the client. That's all you got. So you're going to try and talk them into that thing, which, by the way, is probably just white labeled, made in Taiwan. 18 other companies have the same exact thing, and they just slapped marketing labels on it. There's a lot I could talk about in the industry that's done very poorly. But we're brokers, and every company we work for stands on its own. So if one of those companies finds themselves in financial trouble, that doesn't affect us. There's a stability in demand. There's a stability in structure. That is fourth reason, backed by a lot of state regulations and federal regulations in a highly scrutinized industry where we are state licensed financial professionals. There's no state licensing agency for MLMs. There are no governing bodies for MLMs. We are highly scrutinized, highly regulated. What's the last thing? Oh, actual ownership. I worked in MLMs that promised ownership, but they could change the rules whenever they wanted to. They didn't issue contracts. You didn't contractually own anything. You didn't get to sign your name to ownership papers. You had to take their word for it. I had one company, they told me it was, you could will it, you could sell it, it was yours. Well, when it came time to wanting to sell it, They had a lot more rules about who I could sell it to, and all of a sudden, they made it not only could I not sell it, they're going to terminate my agreement, and everything I built, they're going to take away overnight because guess what? They can change the rules whenever they want. We are not that. Now, with that said, there's some education that comes in a text like Wilbur got. There's some education that comes with that. And when you're communicating with people, people don't often have open hearts to want to learn. People want to be right and they already have their conclusions. So in a case like that text, he probably isn't going to be open to learning about the fact that the only thing we have in common is a multi-level commission structure. That's probably not going, he's probably not going to care about that and not, so you're going to just move on from that. But I will tell you so that you can rest easy. This is so far from that you don't have to worry about whether or not you are in one of those. You are absolutely not. Whether or not you'll convince other people is an irrelevant thing. People are going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to see what they want to see. But I could write a book on the differences. And when Wilbur was like, "Hey, I want to know what you say to this because I don't know." The fact is that I don't argue with people ever. Arguing is not in my nature. I don't think that arguing goes anywhere. I don't even argue with my wife. I don't argue. If I want influence, I figure out how to affect influence, but I'm not a guy that argues. It's just not my nature. So I'm not going to get in a tit for tat or a back and forth with anybody. I don't even need to prove I'm right. I know I'm right. But I wanted to give you guys, from someone who's been deep in that industry, who has spoken on stages in that industry, I wanted to give you a here is the gulf of difference between the two so that you could at least, whether or not you know how to articulate it or whether or not you want to get into an argument or talk anyone or convince, I wanted you to be able to rest in the confidence that this is not that. So I hope that I succeeded in that mission. That's what I wanted to deliver today, was just giving you that confidence. Um, and with that said, I'm going to open up some breakout rooms.